When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
Oh, Hilton stay, your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. Enjoy comfortable rooms and friendly service when you stay with Hilton instead. Save up to 25% this season when you book with Hilton. Hilton for the stay. Terms apply.
Because I have to eat for a living, because I'm on a lot of baking shows and there's a lot of sugar, when I'm at home, I really eat like an athlete.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's my protein plan? You know, how much fiber can I get in? After dinner, walking 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is Taste. I'm your host, Matt Rodbard. It was so much fun having Carla Hall in the studio. Carla is a chef and TV host who is currently serving as judge on Fox's Next Level Baker, a show that tests both professional and home bakers on their baking bona fides. In this episode, Carla shares some great baking ideas for the holidays, and she answers a question that many have asked over the years. Is Gordon Ramsay really an asshole in real life? And at the top of the show, it's the return of Three Things, where Eliza and I talk about what is exciting us in the world of restaurants, cookbooks, and the food world as a whole. Eliza, we're back with Three Things. You have been traveling.
We both were out of the city for Thanksgiving. I was in the Pacific Northwest, and you were in the Midwest.
I was.
Which is not a coast, but that's okay.
It's not a coast, but it is where I grew up, and I got to visit a city that I don't really get to visit often. But tell me a little bit about where you were and what you dined.
Well, I'm going to start with a kind of combined recommendation for what I would say is the most romantic and architecturally significant night out one can have in Tacoma, Washington, which is south of Seattle and my girlfriend's hometown. And I love just beautiful architecture. And by beautiful, I mean completely specific and ideally like a giant version of something that normally you would see tiny. So first we went to Frisco Freeze, which is a very popular casual kind of like walk-up, drive-up burger shack that opened in Tacoma in 1950. So it's been running for 75 years. And they have easily the best onion rings I've ever had, probably in my life. They must be triple fried. They're so crunchy and delicious. And the burgers are also just a really good classic, like it's not quite, I would say it's the thinness of a smash burger, but they're kind of very smooth on top. So I don't know how they're achieving that effect, but the ratio of, burger to cheese to this kind of Thousand Island relish style dressing they have on it, and obviously the buns, is just that perfect kind of flat bite. They also just have incredible decor. They had a wholly lit Christmas tree on the roof of the burger stand we drove up.
I've seen that move.
Yeah.
You throw a Christmas tree up on the roof or like in a window. It's always good.
It's fully on the roof.
Yeah,
they have this beautiful restored sign. It's a great place to go for that kind of classic Americana vibe. And then afterwards, we went to Bob's Java Jive to get drinks, which is another institution in Tacoma. And this is a dive bar / karaoke bar in a giant concrete coffee pot.
I saw your post on Instagram and had questions. I'm glad you're answering them here.
I would say I was there and I still have a lot of questions, but that is kind of the appeal of Bob's Java Jive. It was originally built in 1927 as like a roadside novelty, basically. And it's had many owners and many iterations. It was a diner for a long time. It was a dance hall where Bing Crosby performed in the 40s. In 1955, they turned it into Bob's Java Jive after a song called Java Jive that was playing on the jukebox. In the 60s, it became like a go-go dancer hotspot. In the 70s, they had a pair of live monkeys named Java and Jive that lived in the bar. In the 90s, they turned down Nirvana, who wanted to play there, because they said they didn't allow loud music. And it just goes on from there. And at this current iteration, I would say it's a very beloved karaoke dive bar. And we went there the day after Thanksgiving, which is, I think, a really locals time to go to any bar. And everyone who did karaoke was incredible. And they all seemed to know each other. Like, after someone would sing, people would come up and tell them that they did a good job and how it compared to a previous time that heard that song. The front bar has dollar bills completely covering the ceiling that people have stuck up there. And also just everything is covered in the graffiti of people who have been there. There was like a, Bob and Linda Forever from 1992 written in the booth that I was sitting in.
That's so cute.
So
Wow.
Bob and Linda, if you're listening, I hope you're still together. And if you find yourself in Tacoma, Washington, and you really appreciate dive bars, karaoke bars, or just giant versions of things, Bob Strava Jive.
Bob and Linda. Very 90s, very 80s.
Yeah,
I like that couple.
maybe I'm saying Bob because the whole thing is called Bob.
Yeah,
but
that's the names that you saw. Yeah,
it was great. What's your first thing?
My first thing is I was driving from the East Coast to my hometown in Kalamazoo, and we made a stop in Cleveland, Ohio, a city that my wife was born in, though we have no really family or connections there. So we rarely get to go, and it's a shame because I love Cleveland. Cleveland's got so many cool neighborhoods, and I'll start with probably my most unexpectedly, I would say, incredible meal in a long time. The restaurant's called Cordelia. It's from chef Vinny Cimino, and I got to chat with Vinny after the meal. We're just obviously just dining there. No one knows I talk about food or whatever. And he just introduced himself at the end of our meal and just wanted to chat, and I loved it. He grew up in Akron, which is a nearby city, and he has deep love and respect for Midwestern cuisine. And I enjoy, he's not staging in Copenhagen or whatever. He's been local in the Midwest for a long time, and he has some incredible skills. Just a really sick chef. He was a Food and Wine Best New Chef last year and has had some acknowledgement on the national scene and has been nominated for 2 James Beard Awards. So he's not an unknown quantity, but at least for some, he may be a little bit under the radar. But again, I love this cooking. He did a honey nut squash hash brown with andouille leek mornay sauce and pickled peppers.
Wow.
Yeah, right. A lot going on there.
Sounds really good.
Very cool ideas. Very cool. Doing honey nut, doing squash style for hash browns is genius. He has this overdressed greens, which is essentially a salad covered with cheese in the way that you would expect at a pizzeria, especially Midwest pizzeria. You went to school in Chicago, you know the vibe, right? Where there's almost more cheese than lettuce. Mm-hmm. He mixes it with a white French dressing. The coolest part about it was there were turmeric pickled zucchini within the salad.
Cool.
I love pickles in salads when it's not the dill pickle, but it's some kind of, I would say a sweeter pickle or a cool herb. And we had a couple other dishes. I love the gnocchi with popcorn, meaning it was a pretty clear, traditional bechamel, but little bits of popcorn within the gnocchi. And the idea of the contrasting of gnocchi and popcorn felt really smart, and it worked for me.
Popped popcorn?
Yeah, popcorn. Not full kernels, but it was basically adding texture via popcorn.
That's crazy.
Does it feel a little you're maybe?
I totally
had to
believe
be
that
there?
it works. I'm just trying to imagine the experience, but I think probably it has to be experienced in person.
Yeah, it is. It feels like it might be a little slapdash, but that's the thing about this. It might read a little too casual, but it's not. They have a very messy burger, and I watched the guy. We sat at the counter, and he made literally had a 19. 19 to fire or 19 all day, essentially order, which is insane to see a guy do 19 all day in real time. They had a private event downstairs, and everyone clearly got the burger. The best thing I probably had was the Dirt and Worms, which is a traditional Midwestern kind of childhood party favor dessert. And he was doing one with a really great house-made caramel and house-made cookies and really nice cream, and then of course gas station gummy worms. So
I gotta love that. I feel like Dirt and Worms has been kind of a cute dessert I've been seeing pop up here and there. So that's fun.
It's fun. What's your next West Coast stop?
I went up to Seattle and I finally got to have a meal at Pho Bak Soup Shop. Have you been there before?
No, I haven't been there.
This is a really great pho restaurant that was the first pho restaurant in Seattle in 1982, which if you've been to the Pacific Northwest, Vietnamese food is everywhere. Pho is like probably the dish I associate with Seattle. And this parent generation opened the restaurant, and now it's being run by their kids, the younger generation. Cool. I think the recipes seem to be pretty much the same, but the restaurant is, a little different. They have natural wine on the menu. Oh, wow, cool. And they have opened another restaurant that actually shares the same parking lot, which is called The Boat, which has this whole fried chicken that, among other things, I'm truly dying to eat. But this night, it was cold, it was rainy, it was absolutely the perfect time to have pho. And I had their short rib pho, which was so delicious and flavorful, and they serve it with like a Flintstone style, like huge short rib on the bone in the bowl, which just looks super cool and fun. And I also had something I'd never had before, which was, they call it a dry pho, which is a brothless pho, but it's not bone dry. It still has this kind of delicious fatty sauce that you kind of mix through it, and then they serve that with kind of a shooter of broth to sip on the side. So you can still have that experience of having the noodles and sipping on the broth, but it's kind of a more manageable portion. I also had these twice fried jumbo chicken wings that I think is a version of what they have at The Boat, which are doused in this like sticky, tangy tamarind glaze and fried shallots. And it was just the perfect cold Seattle meal. I also just have to give a shout out to this parking lot because I have never seen
parking structure shout.
It's not even it's just a lot that it's attached to, but the way that people stack their cars, just pack them in, and then people walk into the restaurant and they say, "Hey, does anyone have the red Dodge Charger?" Why is it always a Dodge Charger?
Yeah.
Red Dodge Charger is blocking me, and people get up and move their cars, and it's just this like sense of accommodation and also the lengths that people will go to get their pho fix. And I thought that was just kind of sweet.
I love that. I hope you can make it back to Seattle next year, and I'll take that rec.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your next thing?
My next thing is staying in Cleveland. I crossed the river and headed over to Ohio City, which is a neighborhood I've been going to for years, and just a really cool spot. We went to Paradise Galleria, which is, I would say, like a very good vintage shop. Like, by all means, like, you're going to get your cool Memphis-style Pee Wee Herman furniture and get, like, a great tea from the 80s and some cool, like, they have like they make it kind of like a walkthrough, installation kind of style. But across the street, we had a great meal at Heart of Gold. Great, I would call it, it's not a bar, not a wine bar, but it's like more bar than restaurant, it feels. And there's like a large outdoor patio. And like, it's really, really well done. And I have to say, waffle fries with ranch done that way. Superiority Burger, you've got great fries. Heart of Gold in Ohio City, you might be as good, if not better, than Superiority. I love these fries. It's weird to talk about waffle fries this long on a podcast, but I loved it. Great fried chicken sandwich with Maggie mayo, and they had these Old Bay and aged cheddar garlic knots with miso scallion butter.
Wow.
Which was nice. And so I think that kind of speaks about the cuisine. It's like a lot of like fried Midwestern bar food, but done in like a cool, interesting way. I loved it. And it's like a very like sharp space, great art, like probably like 30-foot ceilings, like crazy in the Midwest. You can get like these big high ceilings. I loved it.
That's great. I'm going to come back to New York for my last thing, which
You're back.
is I'm back, and I ventured to a new side of the Fort Greene Farmers Market, which typically I just go to the Washington Park side, which is where all of the produce vendors are. But if you walk down DeKalb towards downtown Brooklyn, there's a variety of like home goods and bakeries and other kinds of curated tents and stands that are over there. And I specifically went to this bakery called Zena Bakery, which is a Palestinian bakery selling just really delicious breads and cookies. They specifically are doing a lot of mamoul, which is this Middle Eastern shortbread that traditionally is filled with dates or nuts or figs. I had some of their more traditional flavors, but I also had the maple pecan mamoul, which was so delicious and salty and had that really kind of crumbly, short texture that I think the pecans really lean into in that kind of way. I would say like traditionally maybe walnut would be what you would have, but the maple pecan was a standout for me. And I also had some of their focaccia. They were doing a honey sesame focaccia that's been brushed with honey after it comes out of the oven. It has this really nice kind of tangy bread, sweet crust, chew. I took it home and I used it to kind of make like a snack plate for lunch. That was super satisfying, and I think it's just a nice reminder to, keep walking when you get to the market and see what other good things there are.
Oh, that's exciting. I got to check it out. I haven't been to that farmer's market in many years.
Well, I'll be there if you ever want to go.
I know, it's your hood.
What's your last thing?
My last thing is I'm staying in Cleveland, and I have to admit I had very low expectations for this stop, and I was stunned about how much I liked it. It is the little spot called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Ever heard of it?
Ever heard of it? I don't know. Have you been?
No.
So I asked a few people, and there was like some snarky responses, like like the people in the hall are fine, but they're missing a bunch. I have to agree. There's a lot of bands that are not in the Hall of Fame that should be there, but that's not the point. My point is like visiting the Hall of Fame. It's very cool. It's a very fun and I would say well considered exhibit of, air quotes, rock and roll music, because there's like a lot of directions to go in, and I think that they have to pick their angles. So I was there while they were running an SNL retrospective. So they had a bunch of really cool costumes from SNL performers and bits about music, and some musical like interactive pieces. But what I really liked was going past that temporary exhibit, walking past the CBGB awning, the original one, and heading to like the historical halls. They had sections about Philly in the 60s, Detroit in the 60s and 70s. There's really a little bit of little country music because there's their own Hall of Fame. But the way they kind of exhibit Chicago and in moving through the eras, and of course over the pond to Liverpool and London as well. Very cool to see not just guitars, but like just great narrative and stories about these different eras of rock and roll music. And then you head upstairs and you actually see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You see the actual names on the wall and the new people who were inducted this year. And Jack White, the White Stripes were inducted, which I thought was an interesting choice, and I support it. There's no Stereo Lab in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I was bummed by that, looking at their history, but...
Well, I have to mention my favorite YouTube video of all time is Prince doing My Guitar Gently Weeps from the posthumous George Harrison introduction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I think for that video alone, I should probably make my own pilgrimage.
I love that reference. They do a little mini documentary about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it was in this like auditorium, and of course they close that doc with that performance where Prince throws his guitar into space at the end of it.
Can we put it in the show notes?
I mean, let's do it. That YouTube will be in the show notes. One of probably the greatest guitar performance ever recorded.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely up there. Maybe there's a Jimi Hendrix fan out there that's going to come back with another retort. Yeah. But, I love ending on a non-food related thing because... Why not?
Why not? It was a great trip, and I just think Cleveland is a wonderful city, even when it's cold.
Thank you for sharing your three things.
Thanks, Liza. This episode is brought to you by Aura Frames. If you're one of those last-minute shoppers, you might know the feeling. Ideas are running low, and the clock is ticking. Aura Frames is the solution with a gift that feels personal and can be purchased in no time. Aura Frames are great. They sent me one to check out, and it was really cool and dumb simple to set up. I loaded photos using the app, and it was displaying them instantly. There are no limits to the amount of photos you can load, and you can customize messages with each photo. And here's the deal. You can preload an Aura frame with photos and have it directly sent to that special person in your life, gift wrapped and all. There will be no price tag, and you can include a personalized message. Think about it. All those photos from this past summer's family reunion delivered in a digital frame. That is pretty cool. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code TASTE at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code TASTE. The deal is exclusive to listeners and frames sell out fast, so order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. If you're like me, your skin needs some extra care this time of year. all that cooking for family and friends has me busy dipping into my favorite cookbooks.
And Matt, I've been spending so much time in the kitchen trying to perfect my roast chicken. How hot it is all the time, it's doing a number on my skin.
Yeah, man, I've been working through a bunch of these new cookbooks, including David Leibowitz's re-release of Ready for Dessert. Now, I've been eyeing his nectarine raspberry upside-down gingerbread cake, and I made a couple batches of his buckwheat chocolate chip cookies. Honestly, the cookies turned out great, but in the end, all that time with the flour and the dough, my skin is a wreck. That's why I've continued to rely on OneSkin. I love their OS1 body formula, and it's been invaluable to have a daily routine that delivers both powerful skincare and longevity benefits, all in just a few simple steps. OneSkin also just launched their limited edition holiday sets, including the Nightly Rewind gift set, which is one of those rare gifts that's both impressive and genuinely useful, providing an upgrade to anyone's nightly routine. Featuring their best-selling face moisturizer and their new peptide lip mask, each component of the set is designed to work together as your body enters its natural nightly repair mode, helping renew skin at the cellular level for a stronger, smoother, and more resilient skin. For a limited time, try OneSkin for 15% off using promo code TASTEPOD at oneskin.co. That's promo code TASTEPOD at oneskin.co. This episode is brought to you by Tempo. We are all really busy this time of year, and sometimes cooking is not an option. Though we crave a healthy, creative, home-cooked meal that an Uber Eats delivery or slice of pizza isn't going to satisfy. Tempo is a smart solution. Delicious pre-made meals, creative and always interesting, arrive to your door perfectly portioned for lunch and dinner and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. I recently gave Tempo a try, and I was super impressed. The 3-cheese broccoli chicken orzo with roasted honey carrots was exactly what I wanted after a busy day interviewing chefs and writers in the podcast studio. Sometimes you just don't want to think about dinner. And honestly, I'm one of those people sometimes, and Tempo was the solution. With 20 meals available for delivery each week, mealtime is never boring. And for those macro counters out there, Tempo is a smart option. For a limited time, Tempo is offering This Is Taste listeners something pretty amazing. 60% off your first box. That's 60%, which is pretty close to free. Visit tempocooking.com/taste for 60% off your first box. tempocooking.com/taste. Rules and restrictions may apply. Carla Hall, welcome. This is Taste. So great to see you.
It is really great to be here.
I'm excited to talk about your new show, Next Level Baker. But I first want to know, when you're in New York City, is there like a restaurant you're going to? Have you had any, cool experiences in the past few days?
Well, I just went to the Whitby Hotel. I went to the Whitby Hotel to have tea. And I decided, you know what, let's get an English muffin. I'm like, please, no diss with Thomas's, but please be a real thick English muffin with those little pockets. And it was so simple and so delicious and such a beautiful space. So I literally just had that experience before I came on.
Now, have you attempted English muffins yourself to bake them?
I have not.
Okay, Mauricio Leo, friend of the show, author with us, has an incredible recipe with sourdough English muffin.
That is so good to know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been to a restaurant where I've seen them made and I'm fascinated by it, but I've never made them. And now you're telling me, and I'm going to do it.
You should do it. So how do you, Carla, think about your own cooking? I mean, you're doing professional consulting restaurants, you're on television and doing media and cookbooks, and then you're at home. How do you balance all of these different types of cooks?
So the one thing that I tell people, and they're really surprised, because I have to eat for a living, because I'm on a lot of baking shows and there's a lot of sugar, when I'm at home, I really eat like an athlete.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's my protein plan? How much fiber can I get in? After dinner, walking 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not thinking about delicious food necessarily.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about
fuel. Well, you're thinking about fiber here. Not that fun to talk about fiber on national TV.
I know. Look, also, I'm 61, so we talk a lot about fiber. If it comes in, it's got to get out.
It's always a good rule of thumb when we're on our 7 taqueria crawl. It's coming in. It's got to go out.
Like, how are you gonna leave this neighborhood?
I like that. You obviously timed Next Level Baker, which is on now and a great show, with this like time of year of baking. And I think many of our listeners, they are dusting off the stand mixer this time of year. It's been resting for like 11 months.
Yeah.
And I want to like get some advice for those who are like thinking about holiday baking and maybe haven't done it in a minute.
So first of all, I love baking for the holidays. I really do. I love cookies. I love pies. I love cakes. So first of all, if you're making cookies, make that dough ahead.
Yes.
Just make it now. Throw it in the freezer. I am a big fan of putting the doughs flat in like a Ziploc bag, and then cutting them into small pieces, and then like whatever you need, like pulling them out, right?
Yeah.
And the thing that I learned from Dory Greenspan, for those of you who do decorated cookies, when your dough is soft, roll it out and then, put it in manageable, like pack it up like that, and then put it in the freezer to chill.
Flat.
So you're not working so hard. Remember back in the day, people would say, oh, like your crust, put it in a ball. I mean, you have to work so hard to take that thing from a ball to a pie crust.
Yeah.
So whether it's cookie dough, whether it's pie dough, roll it out when it's still soft and let it get cold. And it will be perfect. Pie doughs too. Get your pie doughs done. You can even do some of your pie mixes ahead, like things like that.
Yeah.
I am just a big fan of, especially if you don't like the hours in the kitchen, do your dough. Do it in steps and then cut your dough. And then you're ready to bake your dough. Nothing has to be done really at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, you have to think ahead. I'm hearing roll out the dough and freeze it and have it ready there. I've been thinking a lot about cookie competitions for our office.
Yeah. Oh.
We have one here.
Okay, let me tell you. Okay, my whole thing about cookie competitions and cookie swaps.
Please.
So I love cookies. I'm a bit of a cookie snob. I'm really trying not to say snob, but I am particular with cookies. I had a cookie company where I had the little cookies that were 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, like jelly beans.
Yeah.
I think cookies are the one thing that you start making when you're a child, right?
Yes.
That's the first recipe.
One of our first recipes we ever have as a kid.
Right. You'll do the chocolate
Such
chip
memories.
cookies, the Toll House cookie, right?
Licking the spoon, you got the bowl, all that.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I don't think that for cookie exchanges, the technique of most people making cookies has changed since they were a kid. So there are a lot of bad cookies at a cookie exchange.
I mean, you've got the one that's like the thumbprint with
Yes.
with the Hershey's Kiss.
Yes. But look, when somebody comes in with a thumbprint and they try to sandwich that thing, you cannot unhinge your jaw to bite it.
I know.
Right?
Unfortunately, I know.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. So I think one of the keys to making cookie dough is to get the butter at the right temperature and to chill the dough. So that's what I'm saying for all of you cookie exchange people. The cookie shouldn't be real thick. Shortbread should have a snap. All the things.
There's all the things. I mean, what about adventure with spicing?
Oh, 100%. I
You like
think,
it? It's not too much. Like too much cardamom to me feels like you're trying. Oh, your face is so good.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
tough.
Too much cardamom, too much rose water, too much of any one thing. Spices have to be balanced. So I love a Linzer cookie because I love those spices.
Me too.
But the Linzer cookie has to be thin because you're going to be sandwiching it. I think when you're doing a sandwich cookie, think about what is the end product. How thick is that going to be?
Yeah.
But I love all of those spices, those warming spices like cloves and cinnamon and nutmeg and anise. And black pepper is a really good spice to slide into cookies.
Yeah. White pepper too.
Yes.
I love white pepper in cookies.
Oh my God. Wait, hold on. Stop. Yeah. You said white pepper. You love white pepper?
I think white pepper is such an underrated component. I think white pepper in obviously vegetables, it's great, but in cookies, it works. You disagree?
I don't disagree. I think you have to be judicious.
Yeah.
And I'm trying in choosing your white pepper because
Oh, sure.
White pepper, first of all, how you get to white pepper. You have black pepper hulls and then they take water and they spray off the black hulls.
Yeah.
Okay, if that doesn't dry, then for some reason a white pepper that isn't high quality, I taste the mildew.
I think if any spices have been sitting around as well. So I think with white pepper, you have to replace it quite often.
Yes.
You can't have the shaker that's been there for 2 years, which kind of is most of us.
Correct.
It's hard. You're right. Great points, Carla.
Yeah.
You taste a little bit of the moldy.
I do. I taste mold.
Yeah.
So when I have a really good white pepper, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. I'm always surprised.
It should be refreshing.
Yes.
I think it's like the effervescence, refreshing of white pepper. And I think with a pastry like a shortbread, a white pepper shortbread.
Oh my gosh, what? Stop it. Yes.
But you're right, quality of spices. And reminder, let's replace our spices once a year.
Okay, come on. Let it be at Christmas time when you're doing those cookies and the desserts.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely. Yeah.
I cleaned out my mother's cupboard, and I swear she had spices from, I was doing this in, let's say, 2020, and she had spices that were like 2008. I'm like, girl.
It happens. I think I've had that at my my family's house too.
Yeah.
It's like an oil change of a car. That's the way I like to look at it. You can't forget that oil change.
Yeah.
If you're cooking every day or even once a month with your spices, replace it.
Replace it.
Let's talk about the 3-tier kitchen of Next Level Baking.
Let's get into it.
I feel like it looks cool on TV. Is it cooler in person?
I wasn't ready for how cool it was in person. I really wasn't ready. So we walk in. I didn't realize how huge it was going to be. It is massive.
Yeah.
And then when the lights turned on, my reaction was my true reaction. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It blew my mind. I mean, it is festive and all the lights and holiday. It was incredible. I had such a good time. I was like a kid. I'm very stimulated visually. So when I see something that like the lights and then you have the carolers and then there's like a reindeer and there's ice skating, I'm like, oh my God, like what's next? I said, oh, look at this Fox budget.
You know what? It pays to play with network. It pays to play. This isn't one of those fast TV, on the internet things.
I know.
I mean, I love it. It's a great show. I mean, I've screened some episodes. This preview of a couple of the challenges that you're, the bakers, the Next Level bakers are being put through the ringer.
So let's talk about the bakers. So you have home cooks, you have professional cooks, and you have social media cooks.
Yeah.
So everybody brings, I think, something different to the table where I think, when you think about home cooks, you think about things that are like really delicious, tried and true recipes. You think about professional cooks, technique and everything. You think about social media cooks, they're going to be really great at presentation because everything is visual. But everybody has a shadow side to that. So, the home cooks, it's going to be delicious, but it may not look as great because of presentation. You have a professional cook where they are really know technique and everything, but they are so exacting that maybe they can't be the MacGyver in the kitchen because they work in nice kitchens. And then you have the social media cooks who nobody's tasting their stuff. We just see it, right? So everybody has a shadow side to their gifts. So that's awesome to see played out.
Yeah.
You have the boozy bakes. You have chocolate work. We're even bringing in something savory. You've got...
You should obviously bring in savory.
The savory.
Yeah.
I think when you are tasting a lot of desserts, bringing in the savory is such a relief to the palate that it ends up being the best thing.
We need a Gordon Ramsay off-camera story because honestly, everyone, I do the show, people come in and they're like, have you met Gordon? I'm like, yeah, one time. Is he nice? I'm like, it's interesting. He seems like he's nice from what everyone says, but then there's other half of people who are like, he's clearly a jerk. I hear mostly that he's a nice guy and very generous, but I don't know, give me an off-camera Gordon moment.
Okay, so when I had met Gordon before this.
So you show up on set and you're like, hey, Gordon.
No, I met him. We did a chemistry test prior to.
Chem chat.
So a little chem test.
Screen test,
Screen test,
okay,
chem test.
Give us a little, sorry, before you continue, what's a chem check like, chem test for
So they have an idea of what you can do. And I hadn't done a chemistry test since 2010.
Yeah.
Since before the chew. I'm like, oh my God, what? I have to do a what?
I mean, it's Carla Hall. Chemistry should be pretty on point.
Do you like me or don't you like me? But
Most do, I would think, Carla.
Yeah, but I mean, people don't know. You never know until you're there. So I walk in immediately. I'm like, oh my God, I'm finally meeting you. Let me hug your neck.
Let me hug your neck.
I'm so Southern. I was like, let me hug your neck.
Hug
He
your neck.
Corrects up, and I'm holding him by the arms like like I'm his aunt, right? I'm
So
holding
good.
him on his biceps, and I'm looking at him. I said, how tall are you? And he said 6'2". I said, that's what Wikipedia said. You didn't lie. So because I'm 6 feet, so
Yeah.
we're pretty much looking eye to eye. So we go through this whole thing, and then there's a baked good there, and he's like, so what do you think about this? And I said, well, did the baker run out of time? And so he's like, my wife did it, and she is in the room. Right?
That's insane.
She's in the room, so he starts taking the piss, the giddy up. And so I'm looking at her, I'm like, well, did you run out of time?
Oh my gosh. That's like kind of cruel. I mean, so that's a great story about Gordon. But like, what's it like being a judge with Gordon?
He is so good in processing flavors and things very quickly in terms of the taste, but he's also very invested in helping someone do better.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's all
way.
about constructive feedback, which is why I do it. That's why I do these shows. I want people to be the best version of themselves. I also, because it's a hard thing that they've chosen to do, I also want them to leave this experience and do another hard thing in their lives. That part. Because I think that it's not about winning the show. It's about winning in your own life. And if you continue to do hard things and you continue to challenge yourself, you will find the core of who you truly are to be great.
It's such a good way to look at reality television because we know many people who compete on shows, they don't go on to much more than that. It's just the facts. So for the fact that you go into it and wanting to draw out these better, like making people better, and I believe you. This is not just for some camera shit. I feel like this is you. Respect.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, but that's what makes it. That's what makes it fun. I genuinely like people. I don't pretend to like people. Like I am really interested in people.
Yeah.
And when they dig deep, and somebody could say somebody's a jerk, and I'm like, what I see is that their defenses are up, right? And so, how can I be disarming to be on their side so that they can actually get out of the way of their success?
It's really, really, really cool. Do you see yourself running restaurants again?
No.
I made an abrupt segue, and your face was like, I was like, did I ask the wrong question?
You brought me high and you took me low.
Your face says it all, though. It's so okay.
I mean, you know what? I was talking to somebody about doing restaurants in D.C. and doing something because I figured something almost happened in D.C. in terms of a restaurant, a project, and then I don't think it's going to happen. And then somebody stepped in and said, hey, what about doing this? And I was seriously considering it. And I was at an airport, and she's like, I think I have the right thing. And I started having a panic attack. I was like, my body is saying, girl, run.
Yeah.
No.
This is not happening.
Literally, I was having a panic attack at an airport. I had to go to the bathroom and just breathe. And I walked out, and this chef comes up to me and says, hey, I have such and such restaurant. I have 5 restaurants. And I was like, how long have you had them? And he was like, oh, for a number of years. And I was like, I am so proud of you. Congratulations. And through my toes, I was just looking at him after having this panic attack in the bathroom. Like, I was so happy for him and happy that is not my life.
That's it. You've already been there.
Right?
But 5 years, I think it is something to celebrate. If you've done a restaurant job for 5 years,
100%.
It can feel like probably 50 years for some people. So no restaurant for you. You know it.
I know it. That's not
you.
my ministry.
Yeah. How do you stay creative then?
I stay creative in doing. I love to teach.
Yeah.
So again, in doing this, judging is a bit of teaching involved.
Yeah, it is.
I love working with my hands. Cookbooks. I'm working on a cookbook. I do crafts. I think baking is crafting with food.
Yeah, it sure is.
It
scratches that itch for the crafters, for the artists out there too.
That part. And so I really love doing that without having to give it to anybody, repeatedly, day after day, night after night.
What can you tell me about the next cookbook? I don't want to spoil a good show, but tell me a little bit.
It's called Carla Bakes, and I'm doing all the recipes that even some things that I wanted to learn how to make. That people were learning things during COVID. I was pimping up my cereal during COVID. I wasn't doing any sourdough. I wasn't cooking every day.
You're saying you were basically just like your form of cooking was adding a different alt milk to your cereal?
Dude, I was taking my cornflakes and making cornflakes granola, which, by the way, I'm putting in the book.
I like
that.
I
was doing like strawberry malted milk. I was doing some like jazzing up my cereal that way.
Yeah.
But I wasn't messing with sourdough.
No.
And so in this book, it's things that I want to learn how to make. It's recipes that I want people to be successful making. So I try to do different techniques that I think are repeatable. And sometimes that was very frustrating because I'm like, okay, if I'm getting tripped up just trying to tell them this isn't the method. So how can I change the method? Like pat a choux. One of the things that I was working on, I mean, we all know how to do pat a choux, but
we mean professional.
Okay, right.
Let's come correct. Pat a choux, any kind of like lamination and stuff like that is okay. But sorry.
Okay, yeah, but pat a choux, cream puffs, eclairs. So the thing that makes it not consistent are the eggs. So theoretically, a large egg is 2 ounces, but still they change. So I kept doing this over and over, and I was like, how do I make it consistent? The way to make it consistent is to crack your eggs, beat them, put them in a measuring cup, and measure that said all of those eggs together. So it is the same every single time.
Or maybe use a digital scale.
Dude, can we talk about the digital scale?
I mean,
I want my book to come with a freaking digital scale because I had to weigh out everything. I have the metrics.
Good.
That is the only way to be consistent.
We know it. It's truly needs to be said more and more and more. Like,
oh my gosh,
if you're baking, it's not cups, it's digital scale.
It's a digital scale. So one of the things that I do, because I'm always baking biscuits with people, and I do these cooking demos. I have someone come up and I'm like, measure a cup of flour for me, and they measure the flour. I'm like, okay, thank you. And then I take what they measured, I whisk it, and then I remeasure it. And invariably, there are at least 2 tablespoons, if not more, left in the bowl. I said, this right here, you've just thrown out your wet to dry ratio. This is why you're blaming the person who made the recipe. It is not them. 'Tis you.
'Tis you.
And this is why you need a scale.
'Tis you. Funny. I mean, yeah, where you're like basically that little bit in the bowl is the difference between a great crumb.
Yeah,
and
something's very heavy and sturdy.
Super like dense crumb. Yeah. So maybe it should come with a digital scale.
Dude, if I could partner with
Escoli.
Come on.
Escoli, the illest digital scale on the earth.
What?
So nice.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. Let's do it. I mean, it makes sense. Be the first. This episode is brought to you by OneSkin. If you're like me, your skin needs some extra care this time of year. All that cooking for family and friends has me busy dipping into my favorite cookbooks, like Von Vreeland's latest about cookies. I'm really loving what this guy does with coffee in his cookies. Coffee, it seems, is the secret to winning a holiday cookie competition. This busy season also has my skin in a pretty interesting place. Baking 3 dozen Linzers will do that. That's why I've continued to rely on OneSkin. I love their OS1 body formula, and it's been invaluable to have a daily routine that delivers both powerful skincare and longevity benefits, all in just a few simple steps. OneSkin also just launched their limited edition holiday sets, including the Nightly Rewind gift set, which is one of those rare gifts that's both impressive and genuinely useful, providing an upgrade to anyone's nightly routine. Featuring their best-selling face moisturizer and their new peptide lip mask, each component of the set is designed to work together as your body enters its natural nightly repair mode, helping renew skin at the cellular level for a stronger, smoother, and more resilient skin. For a limited time, try OneSkin for 15% off using promo code TASTEPOD at oneskin.co. That's promo code TASTEPOD at oneskin.co. Today's episode is brought to you by Our Place. Now, Clayton, let me ask you, what's your pots and pans setup looking like?
Well, I have a few cool pieces that you could call vintage if you're being very, very nice. But honestly, I do think I need an upgrade.
Yeah, man, I was kind of in a similar place myself, and I recently went on a search for the perfect sauté pan. I read all the Wirecutter and Reddit pages and landed on the Our Place website. I liked how their cookware looked. It was minimal though functional, with a color palette that matched my own aesthetic. And I really liked that they make better kitchen products that are simply better for you. Our Place makes high-performance, toxin-free cookware. It's that simple. Their products are made without forever chemicals like PFAS and PTFEs. I had to Google that, and man, that stuff is nasty. So you can cook confidently without wondering what's in your pan. Stop cooking with toxic cookware and upgrade to Our Place today. Visit FromOurPlace.com/taste and use code TASTE for 10% off site-wide. With a 100-day risk-free trial, free shipping and returns, you can experience this game-changing cookware with zero risk. That's FromOurPlace.com/taste and use code TASTE for 10% off site-wide.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. You're ready to move your business forward, but first, you need to find the right team. Start your search with Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It can help you reach qualified candidates fast, ensuring your listing is the first one they see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs are 90% more likely to report a hire than non-sponsored jobs. See the results for yourself. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Carla, on This Is Taste, we ask guests about the discerning taste. So to close this interview, here's a little rapid-fire, fast and furious taste check. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
The best fruit.
Lemons.
Tell me more. Why?
It's my desert island ingredient. Brightness. It brightens. Sweet, savory. Acid is everything.
Everything. The worst vegetable.
Oh my God. I almost said artichoke. For me, I don't like artichoke.
Yeah.
It's too much work for the thing.
Too much work.
For the return.
Not great on pizza, just going to say.
Dude, what? Okay. And I don't really like it in spinach. I know they seem to be cousins and
that
stuff.
spinach artichoke?
I'm like,
I'll go only spinach, no artichoke.
okay, that part. Sorry, y'all. I mean,
what is your typical breakfast?
oatmeal.
Oh, wonderful.
I love oatmeal.
Savory or sweet?
I do both.
Yeah.
I'm the Quaker Oats girl.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, they're not even paying me.
I was going to say, did they give you a little bit of money?
No, none. I loved oatmeal. It's my connection to my grandmother. I love oats, sweet, savory. I do oats with apple juice, sour cherry juice.
That's so good.
Blueberry.
Sour cherry juice is really good.
Come on.
That's really, really good. The best dessert.
You've tried to trip me up.
I know. We ask everyone this one.
I'm going to say my grandmother's 5-flavor pound cake.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Give me some flavors.
It is lemon, almond, coconut, vanilla, and rum.
It's a recipe that can be each of those 5 or 5?
No, it's all 5.
So cool.
It's all 5 because you don't really know if they're all balanced and they are
amazing.
Delicious.
It's going to be in the book?
No, it's in another book already.
It's already been out there.
You know what? In the book, I do a whole wheat pound cake with molasses. It's
great.
Really delicious.
I love that. Mm-hmm. Your favorite city outside America to visit for food?
Outside of America?
Yeah.
Istanbul.
Oh, wonderful choice. Tell me about it.
Oh, my gosh. I did. I was in Istanbul for the show Chasing Flavor.
Yeah.
And a week after I left, I'm like, I want to go back. And I took my husband back. And we toured the city with the woman Gamze, who was taking me around, who was sort of like our Turkish handler.
Yeah.
And we just ate everywhere. We went to the Asian side. It was so great. I love how diverse it is. I love all of the different people. It's just an exciting place.
Seems like a cool place. I've never been. I'd love to go one day. Mm-hmm. A restaurant you wish you could bring back from the dead?
Ooh, okay, this is me going through my brain because I can't even remember the restaurants that are alive.
I know. Sometimes it's actually.
I'm like, bring back from the dead.
All right,
look, that's true. I mean, as a kid, I would say Church's Chicken because they they had those big old legs, and I'm like, I'm sure that those things.
Are there no more churches? Is that gone?
Is it? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
I haven't seen it. But back in the day, I think they used to have these fried pineapples.
Whoa.
I know. Was that at Church's?
It sounds really interesting. I'd love to tap into that a little bit.
I mean, it was kind of good.
Sounds good. I like that.
But I mean, that's because I can't think of anything.
It sounds like a good option. I think there are a few churches in the world, but not the ones that you grew up going to. Last one, your favorite sandwich.
Oh my, okay, come on. Okay. Smoked turkey with Swiss cheese, coleslaw.
Yeah.
Honey mustard, but not with Dijon, with yellow mustard and mayonnaise, and sliced cucumbers on oat bread.
This sounds amazing. Good work with that one.
Oh my gosh.
This is something you've made many times?
Yes, it is my favorite sandwich, and actually in the book, I make the oat bread.
Oh, wow.
And this was a sandwich that I've been having for at least 40 years. It is my all-time favorite sandwich.
Like you have balanced many of your loves of food in one dish.
Yeah.
Carla Hall, thank you so much for joining This Is Taste.
Thank you. This is so fun.
This Is Taste is hosted and produced by Eliza Barbanel and me, Matt Rodbard. The show is edited by lead producer Clayton Gumbert and supervised by Pat Stango, Director of Media Production and Development at Penguin Random House. Thanks to Shalia Harris and the production team at Penguin Random House. Theme music by Steve Rydell.
Episode portraits by Louise Zergan Pomeroy. Logo design by Ellie Skirzat and Ian Dingham.
Visit Taste online at tastecooking.com and make sure to subscribe to our newsletter to keep updated on all cool things in the world of taste.